right, guys. It's a simple job. Just in and out. Nothing to it. Everybody hit the fucking floor!
That bank's vault is full of cash, waiting for transport. A lot of guards on patrol. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, but hell, it happens to be one, that's all.
The door through the gate is magnetically sealed. Make sure you take out the power before or it won't open. Find the power source.
Listen,
I'm not hanging around.
Everybody listen. This is a robbery.
You'll need to burn your way into the vault with thermite. I'm sending Vile with a drop for you.
Got a key card.
Dropping the bags you asked for. I'll take a little tour around the neighborhood. Be right back.
I'm tracking another assault team. They'll be there in about 30 seconds. Thermite in the hallway above the vault. You can get the thermite to burn faster if you add more bags to the fire. Just don't fucking overdo it.
stop the shit here!
Sabotage squad on site. Watch out. The water from the sprinklers is affecting the thermite. Turn them off. We don't have time for slow cooking.
These guys ain't playing!
bank's vault is brimming with cash, waiting to be transported out of there. More guards than usual patrolling the building. Stay sharp.
Really? I hear everyone it's not real coffee, though. What do you mean? Not real coffee?
Guard over there.
We need to get past that gate in front of the vault.
I see a camera.
The gate's door is sealed magnetically.
Mind the
You have to
job.
disable the power or you won't get it open. Find the circuit breaker that powers it.
He's gonna rip my nuts off.
God.
All right, now disable the switch box's security. The controls are in the power
Watch
room
the camera.
upstairs.
God.
Look out, let's save.
I'll need you to come with me. This area is restricted. Stay out of the restricted areas, got it?
God.
Jesus, what now?
Check this in.
Hello, dispatch? Yeah, I'm good, but I just tripped on a fucking step. This shit is dangerous, man. Brother could die in this motherfucker. Fuck, I'm reporting this shit.
Yeah, let me just check that.
I'm in. Computer's unlocked.
Hit the deck.
That's the switch you need to flip to get the door open. This could be something. A Wixia executive apparently has a safe deposit box in this bank. If you're near an office, try to find out which box it is.
Look out, a sieve.
You'll need to get hold of one of the executives to get into the vault. Should be easy enough to... Just keep an eye out for that corporate look.
Civilian.
That's an executive with vault access.
There's someone there. Shit! Let me go.
There should be a code on the manager's computer. Go and get it. We've got the code. Now, use it to open the vault. The money 20 stacks are rigged with die packs. As soon as the door opens, you need to move fast before they go off. Hurry! Disable the die packs!
What's your status? Over.
That's 7 bags.
Like 5 already?
Yeah, but they have this new one that's all purple. That explains it.
This art gallery. Be extra careful as you're going into the exhibition rooms. The job is to get the paintings Beckett's client is paying us for. We should check the computer in the manager's office to make the search easier. Why don't we start in exhibition room E1? We already know that's where shooting gallery redux
Hey,
is. The gallery recently installed QR readers for the exhibition room locks. You can unlock them by scanning the right QR code. Look for digital devices like smartphones or tablets that could have QR codes stored on them. Look in the utility rooms or the staff areas. These artists, they're all fucking crazy.
What was that noise? Huh? What's that?
What's going on over there?
The security bars on the ground floor are disabled.
Camera over there.
It's a guard.
Watch the camera.
Watch the guard. isn't anybody doing anything? Why isn't anybody doing anything?
Watch the guard.
That's the right one. You'll get one use out of the drive, so make sure you've picked the right painting.
It's a guard. Guard over there. Guard.
Hey!
Plenty of valuable merchandise here if you want to stay and steal some more. I'm sure Beckett can sell it for us.
All right, guys, it's a simple job. Just in and out. Nothing to it. Everybody hit the fucking floor!
And then, a light bulb switched in my head and I was like, yes, that's exactly it. Hello, Eisters.
And welcome to the Payday 3 Developer Diaries.
We're very excited to finally be able to share some details around Payday 3 and to give you a peek behind our curtains as we talk about some of the highlights and challenges we've faced during the making of Payday 3.
We've put together multiple episodes with the help of several members of the Payday development team, and in this episode we'll give everyone a chance to say more on their individual responsibility and passion to see how it has been applied in the making of Payday 3. We hope you'll find these developer diaries both interesting and enlightening, and that we'll manage to quench some of your curiosity and desire for more information.
Today's video is the first in the series, and it's set to serve as an introduction to Payday 3, where we discuss some key topics around what players will recognize from the Payday you already know, as well as what will set it apart as a separate and unique experience. Without further ado, let's go. I think a lot of Payday 2 players are gonna go like, oh, so this is exactly how I do it. But you will also notice that there are a lot of small features that somehow affect the game and makes it into a completely different thing than Payday 2 ever was.
I think the biggest change from Payday 2 to Payday 3 is just generally how the heist experience has evolved. My name is Andreas and I work as a producer on Payday 3. In Payday 2 you have stealth and then you have loud, which is pretty binary, and that's something that we really wanted to flesh out and evolve. So in Payday 3 you have stealth, and then you have something that we call search, which essentially is guards are looking for you and they're suspicious. And then you have something really interesting, which is called negotiation. So first responders arrive to the scene, and if you have hostages, you can start trading them to buy time before the cops get in. Or you can save the hostages for later because you can trade them for resources. So the Payday gang has moved from Washington, D.C. to New York City. And a big reason for that is because New York is just the capital of capitalism. Heisting with your friends and having all those skyscrapers around you, the yellow cabs, more pedestrians and traffic. That's just a very important piece in elevating the experience in general.
There is a ton of stuff, right, that makes New York the place to be. But more so, it's tied to the story and the narrative of Payday. Something that has grown more and more interesting over the years, especially so for the players, who have really come to like the story and are wondering what's going to happen next for the Payday gang.
So Payday 3 will take place in New York City at launch, and we're definitely going to see the gang move to different locations as the game grows and scales over time.
For Payday 3, there will be the original gang and 2 more heisters that will join them.
So I think we're definitely going to see collaborations for Payday 3 as well. What's important for us, and that's something that we've taken like as a general consensus from the community as well, it has to fit the universe, and we don't want to do stuff that really breaks immersion. So as long as it's a natural fit and it elevates what the game is about, absolutely.
Over the past decade, we've done more than 30 different collaborations for Payday, introducing new characters, new heists, and I think the message I want to make really clear to the Payday fans out there is that for launch, we want to focus on the core gang and the core original story of Payday and Payday 3. As we go into the post-launch of Payday 3, anything can happen. You are right that the gang has definitely grown older, and I think that's one of the cool things with Payday as a trilogy now, is that the story and the characters share a red thread through the games. So whatever happened to one of the characters in Payday 2 over its lifespan, that it will somehow be reflected in Payday 3. The coolest feature in Payday 3, one of the first one that comes to my mind, is when you're in the bank, the civilians are everywhere, the cops start rushing in. What you can do in Payday 3 that you've never been able to do before in the Payday franchise is that you can take civilians as hostages and use them as a shield towards the law enforcement. There has been a lot of comments on stream, because we stream several times a week now, and every time we do, there are always Payday 3 questions. Definitely there's been some heavy hitters that have suggested things or asked things where I've gone like, that's actually a fact, you know? So if you asked that question, you were right.
What are we allowed to say?
Yeah.
For us, the most important thing is keeping our community together. Making sure that no matter who you are, what platform you play on, you have the same great experience. My name's Craig McLeod, and I'm the executive producer on Payday 3.
For me, one of the most important things is really drawing the right learnings from our mistakes in the past. The history of the console editions of Payday 2 is the rockiest of roads that we have had, right? Because we were speaking of bumps in the road, and I think our console heisters are the ones that have gotten the brunt of it, really. And I think it's super unfortunate, because a fact is they do not deserve it. On the contrary, it's our fault historically, whether it's been technical challenges that we've had as a studio, inability essentially to deliver them the experience they want.
So how are we working with consoles now? I mean, consoles are, first and foremost in our minds because we're very conscious of the fact that they were dropped previously. We are committed to making sure that all of our releases are across PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox X and S. And you'll notice that when I'm saying this, I'm saying we're only on the latest generation of consoles, and there's a reason for this. The reason is because we realized that to create the best version of the game that we could, we wanted to be on the latest technology. We have a vision of creating one Payday community. So to do this, we need to tie everything together. For us, that's Starbreeze Nebula. By having our own accounts to tie things together with, we're able to have an easy first step to enable things like cross-progression that might otherwise need complicated solutions in order to work. We create Starbreeze Nebula so we can maintain a single community across all platforms, instead of having to divide people who, in essence, are all fans of the same game.
I think whatever tools we decide to create at Starbreeze are to the benefit of the players and our ability to make the best games we can. I think it's that simple, right? Like you touched on, I understand that there are some that might be apprehensive towards signing up for new things, but the players have to remind themselves, I think, that we're here to build something beautiful over a long period of time. And in order to do that, you need to set a proper technical foundation in order to achieve that.
What would be my message to the Payday 3 community? I want to say thank you for being so welcoming, actually. It's really great to be invited into the Payday community, into the family. I think we're going to do something great over the coming years, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it with all of you.
I'd like to give a shout out to all the console players out there who over the years, even though it's been a bumpy road, have decided to stick with us through thick and thin and support us. And I'd just like to say thank you for your support, and that we as a studio salute you and thank you for that. And we're looking to make our best effort in making you a happy heister.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Oh yeah?
Damn, that was good. I like it.
I haven't said everything that those does though.
Do we want to tell them everything?
We weren't specifically looking to fix Payday the Heist or Payday 2. We feel like those games have their own identity. I am Mildred Kovacevic, also known as Mio. I am senior game designer here at Starbreeze. On launch, Payday 3 will have 4 difficulties. We have normal, hard, very hard, and overkill. The general intention is if you're just starting out the game and you're still learning how to play Payday 3, we recommend you start off with normal. Once you're used to that, you can move to hard mode, and hard is sort of our default difficulty while you're still leveling up after you understand how the game works. Very hard is our difficulty where you've progressed enough through the game where you have a loadout you're comfortable with. If you're a veteran player, you'll probably be playing very hard in default. Overkill in Payday 3 is planned to be a brutal, unfair difficulty. So in terms of enemies, one of the bigger changes people will find is that we don't segregate enemies based on the difficulty you're playing. What we want is players to be able to experience any part of the game across all difficulties. So what we instead do is we play with the enemy numbers and we play with their accuracy and damage. One other thing that people will notice is we don't actually change their health values between the difficulties. And this is because we want to encourage people to be able to play with each other. There's one feeling we want to avoid is a situation where you have to play on an easier difficulty and be bored, or they have to play on a harder difficulty and be overwhelmed.
One thing that matters a lot is the movement in the game, where you have sliding and mantling and vaulting and all these other movement options for you as a player. My name is Jimmy Karlström. I'm a senior game designer here at Starbreeze. Your armor affects the player's total weight as a base, but then also other things can affect that weight. This allows you as a player to be faster or slower depending on what you have equipped.
The bigger change are on the armor system that the player has. I'm Martin Bern. I am a lead gameplay programmer. The armor is built up of shards, so you can you have like specific components that can be broken down by getting shot at. It can recoup, but if you lose one, you lost it forever. Not forever. You can still get it back from armor bag, similar to what we have the doctor bag or medic bag in PAYDAY 2. The health is not regenerating at all. It's just going down. As soon as you lost the armor, you start losing the health.
So we also have different things affecting different health bars at any time. So for example, your standard enemies, if they shoot you, they will first hit the armor, but certain special enemies will circumvent that. So you can't just rely on stacking armor and not worrying about health. Health is also a resource you need to pay attention to. To go over what's new about enemies, first I just want to explain how we categorize the enemies internally. So we have 3 categories. We have the common enemies, so that's your bread and butter SWAT and heavy SWAT. Then we have what we call the uncommon enemies. Internally, that is the shield and the sniper. And then we have the specials, and they're there to break the pace.
Oh, so you lost a respect for the bulldozer. Yeah, in PAYDAY 3 we are upping him again. It's not like it's only getting more health or more spongy. He has a couple of new behaviors as well that might surprise the players. One of the behaviors is the bull rush. You might stand there, shoot at him, you might be ignoring him, looking in a different direction, and then he just can decide to bull rush you. And that will, tackle you, make you immobile for a while. Same thing if you get too close to him. If you walk up to him, he will kick you. I mean, the respect for him should be back in PAYDAY 3.
This is true for a dozer, but also true for all our specials. If you really hate a certain special, you can build something that basically deletes them for you from the game. So if you really hate the dozer and you never want to see a dozer again, you can have a build that consistently 3-shots the dozer, but you will be weaker in other aspects of the game.
And this is where it goes into playing with your friends, right? You can be the dozer deleter, or one of your friends then can be the squad deleter. It's all about cooperation and trying to find a way through the heist together.
So the Nader is a new enemy type. He has a bunch of gas grenades on him and flashbangs, so he will take the gas grenade and throw it where the players are, and this will create a gas cloud that exists for a certain amount of time. While you're in that cloud, you cannot sprint, and you will take damage over time directly to your health. Zapper is very similar to how he used to be. We have made some smaller changes to how the stun works. You will have first a partial stun where you can still shoot back and move your aim and try to free yourself. But if you don't manage to do that, you will enter a full stun. Cloakers have had a really big update. I would argue that they've gotten the most love, even though they don't deserve it because nobody likes cloakers. We want the cloaker to feel like a bully, so he now has 2 nightstick bracers. If you leave a deployable unattended and he walks past it, he will melt it with a bottle of acid because he's a toxic person like that.
One really neat improvement is on the shield enemies. The other SWATs have a behavior where they understand the shield much better, so they can actually walk behind this guy, use him as a cover, stand behind him, go out, shoot at the player, go back in behind. So it creates a little bit more interesting dynamic.
The shield is really not there to kill you. He has a handgun, but he's mostly there to support other units. So if you have just a solo shield, he's probably annoying. If you have a shield that's covering for multiple enemies, then he's actually dangerous.
When we are picking the weapons that goes into the game, we are looking at a lot of different things. What is the sort of perception of a weapon in the real world? And what do we need to fulfill a certain gameplay element? So the weapon modding in Payday 3 is very similar to Payday 2 in the aspect of like you can pick your own sights, your magazines, stocks, etc. But the way you get them is a little bit different. So each gun has their own progression and their own progression path, where you as a player play the game as you gain experience with that gun and as you use it throughout multiple heists, then you will unlock more options and you will be able to find new ways to play with it. One thing that we have in Payday 3 is preset weapons. These are essentially weapons that come pre-configured with already a set of mods equipped on them, but also a unique look that you can't get otherwise. Something that is important when you're playing with the preset weapons is that even though you're playing with these preset weapons, you're still progressing the base weapons levels. And that is a really important factor, so you never lose out on that progression. We are just saying like, hey, you're playing with this gun, cool, you're gaining experience too. So the overkill weapons in the game, they are essentially your big power-up. It's something that you gain progress toward during a heist when you are completing objectives. And then as you gain this progress, at some point then later, you can call in your overkill weapon. This is something that is supposed to be a real power upgrade for you and help you get out of that sticky situation. We have a recoil system that is a spray pattern and a gun kick based system that allows you to essentially control your recoil in certain aspects, but there are always a little bit of randomization that you can't control. But with that said, you can learn and master the spray patterns and find a weapon that really suits your personality and what you want to play with. It's not about finding a specific breakpoint in a game where you want to reach a specific stat number, as in Payday 2 necessarily. Instead, it's about what you enjoy in your combat situations and how you want to engage with it.
So there are a couple of different gadgets. You have ECM jammer that blocks the enemy to alert. It also blocks cameras. You have a mini camera that you can place, and then you can at any time view through these cameras. The idea is obviously that you as a team equip different ones and you get different possibilities within the heist. I believe we have created a really good foundation. I think it's a good first step.
I would like the community to explore the opportunities of Payday and how the different ways you can approach a heist, and also how their choices in the game, both when it comes to loadout and their actions, actually has an impact.
I would like to see players complain about their hatred towards the enemies in particular. I know that the Cloaker is much hated, and I hope people learn to hate him even more. And I also want to see some cool skill builds.